Alright, well, good afternoon. No organized video, no organized forecast video like we usually do on the channel, like we've done the past few days. We're just gonna have just a little bit of a chit chat, kind of discuss about the tropics today, because we have two areas of concern that we need to be aware of, really in parts of the Caribbean, parts of the United States as well, the Gulf of Mexico, that we should just watch as of right now. Nothing serious as of right now, though we do have Hurricane Larry going into parts of Newfoundland. There you go, 80 miles per hour, moving north-northeast at 25 miles per hour. He is racing up there. That's of the 2 p.m. advisory. By the time this video comes out, I'll probably have the 5 p.m. advisory on it already. But they could see some hurricane impacts, which is why they have the hurricane warning in effect there, over there. But there you go. Also, Larry's supposed to bring snow to Greenland, which is interesting. Over, looks to be about 5 feet of snow is what they're expecting in some areas. But let's look at the wind history of this thing. I mean, good grief. Wow. What a long path this was, and Bermuda dodged the biggest bullet. Yeah, they still got some tropical storm force winds, but they dodged the bullet in terms of hurricane force winds and destruction, major destruction that could have been the case in Bermuda, but luckily it passed just to the east of Bermuda. But good grief, what a impressive storm. Largest eye that we've had in the season. Just a really incredible storm there. But yeah, let's go to the home page here so we can see what we're talking about in terms of waves. We have this one right here, north of Honduras and east of Belize. Very disorganized system, but you check the 5-day outlook. Both are high chances, 50% next 2 days on this one, coming off of Africa. And we have this one right here, 40 and 70. 40% chance in the next 2 days and 70% chance within the next 5 days. So they both have high chances of development. But we'll watch this one. Models are depicting that this one maybe the more likely one to go into Mexico or South Texas. We don't expect a major hurricane at this time, or really a hurricane at this time. But again, we'll go from modeling. We'll look at all the things that we can look at as of right now. So far, the tropical model set has not picked up on this. We'll go to tropical tidbits in a bit, and just so that, in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go there now, and I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So let me go ahead and just go to it now. So yeah, we'll actually go here, and we'll see that we only have one that is in the Atlantic right now, and that is Larry. These have not even been named Invest 92 and 93 yet. Kind of surprising, but yeah, no, there are no invest on these, surprisingly. We see these invest, but this is in the Indian Ocean, 95B. 96 is in the Pacific, Western Pacific. Then we got Chantu. Forgot how this is pronounced. My bad. But what an incredible freaking typhoon. 155 knots. Gusts up to 190 knots. That's not miles per hour. That is knots. No pun intended. There. Sure, I'll go out of full screen. Why not? By the way, follow us on Twitter. We have a Twitter page. Almost to 700 followers. If you can get to 700 followers, that would be nice. But there we go. Say hi to the people on the side here. Oh, golly. Anyways, there we go. Fortunately, this thing is expected to weaken before it goes into Japan. Big time. But, good grief. 155 knots. Wow. Also, maximum significant wave height is 55 feet. Dang. There we go. We could see an invest. We could see an invest on these on the two waves in the Atlantic by tonight, maybe tomorrow. But Olaf is not looking good at all. It was a hurricane earlier. It's not anymore. But wow. Hooey. Yeah. You bit the bullet on that one. So all right, let's take a look here at the some models. We'll reset everything. In fact, what I'm going to do, we have a let's see, European ensemble. We'll just go here. We'll go to the Atlantic Basin. I'm able to go to the Central here, and we're not there yet. But let's go to tropical depression probs. Let's just go here, just sort of see, and we'll actually go all the way back. So this wave here has a 90 to 100% chance. Usually when you see a big swell like that, the Europeans basically saying, yeah, this thing's going to become a tropical storm easily. I mean, it's just like there's no doubt about that. There's just no doubt about that. And hold on one second. Let me go and open up a new tab here just so I can promote a website that I use. Anyways. Yeah, by the way, I highly suggest checking out this page, Mike's Weather page, SpaghettiModels.com. They have a whole bunch of tropical stuff on here. I highly recommend you check it out. SPC stuff, some wind shear maps, just some really good tropical stuff. I use this site just to quick access, since I don't know a lot of these sites that are on here. You know, it gives me just quick access to shear maps or whatever. I obviously do know the SPC, the NWS website, tropical, you know, all that. But it's just a very quick access site that I would recommend you check out. It's weather all the time. That's a site there. But here we go. But here you can see, we'll go to the Gulf of Mexico so you can see this. They have a 90% or higher probability on this thing becoming at least a tropical depression. That's 20 knots or higher. On this wave here, SPC has a 70% chance of becoming a named storm, at least a tropical depression, which is not always a named storm. They usually call it tropical depression, whatever number of the storm it is. In this case, Anna would be 1. And Bill would be 2, but this, let's see, we just finished with Mindy, so whatever number is next to that, we'll see that. But here's tropical storm probabilities. They have it all the way down to 10%, 10 to 20%. Right now, they're not. The European is not seeing this thing becoming a tropical storm, very likely. And that's as of right now. That is as of right now. That can change. And of course, when you have probabilities this low, you're not going to have any hurricane probs. But yeah, that's 34 knots or higher, or 40 miles per hour. But we'll go back to the here. Here's tropical storm probs, 10%. And that's within 0 to 3 days. So that's between now and Monday. But we'll go ahead. We'll go to days 1 to 4, and for some reason this hasn't popped up. But we'll go back to tropical depression probs, days 1 to 4. European is stating another wave potentially coming from there, which is interesting. But they're still sticking with that 80 to 90% prob. They still have a little bit of spot of 90, but that's likely just solid 90%. They're such a small area. Then they are hinting at another wave right over Panama. So there you go. Tropical storm probs. They have it a little bit higher. They have it up to 20%. Can't speak. But notice they have no probs on the one here. That's a high chance wave. But then there's this southern wave here. That's they have a 20% chance. This is days 2 to 5. Slightly lower probs on the tropical depression. There in that Gulf of Mexico wave. Slightly lower probs on that one. I think this one might struggle a little bit. And if we take a look at struggling, take a look at the shear map, and yeah, there's quite a bit of shear ahead of this. And right now, that wave is getting sheared up. Right now, that wave is getting sheared up. But it'll be entering to a more favorable environment later, unless that shear moves up to northwest. But yeah, that other wave that the European is kind of hinting at is looking to be quite interesting. So it'll just be interesting to see. As far as hurricane probs, none right now. So take a look at 3 to 6. And again, these probs go higher. These probs go lower. And this one's up to 30%. 30 to 40% on this one. That one's down to 10. So my guess with the one in the Gulf, it's going to be a very quick. It's going to be a very quick one, very quick storm, maybe tropical storm, and then moves up and is out of here. A very quick storm, which is probably likely what is going to happen that we know of right now. And this could change. This could change, but we'll see how much time that thing has and just what all it can do. But those probs die out. This is tropical depression probs and all that. These go a little higher, but yeah, this might be a wave to watch right here. This is that wave that was over here, right there, that is falling behind the one that the NHC has marked right now. This lead one may not survive, but then the wave number 2 might. The European is depicting this one. And then there's another wave coming behind that could become a tropical depression at least. Look at the tropical storm probs. There we go, up to 40 to 50%. Hurricane probs, 0. So we'll go back to this. And yeah, this one right here, this one may move to the northeast and just curve out the fish, but this one may be a little interesting to see here. We've got up to 50 to 60 on the tropical storm, and the hurricane is 10%, 10 to 20% on there. And then tropical depression probs have dropped. Hurricane probs are now up to 20 to 30%, likely just 20%. And then we're now at the end of the forecast period. Unfortunately, these only go out 240 hours, so there you go. But those are the probabilities there. But we'll take a look at the actual models, and we'll take a look at the European, and we'll take a look at the, no, I want to take a look at the, what do I want to look at? Pressure, there we go. I think we can take a look at the anomalies here, and we'll look at the central basin. So it might be a little bit hard to read, but yeah, there is our wave that is sitting behind it. That one dies out. Meanwhile, this thing, man, this thing's rushing. Good grief, this thing's fast. Looks like we're down to 951. What's that? 957 now. I can't really read. It's a little hard to read on there. I think we'll just take a look at the solid MSLP here, and oh, that looks like 956 on there. The end of the forecast period has it 959. So 959, yeah, there we go. So at the bottom you can see 959 there. So we have a 959 millibar pressure, and look at the anomalies. Of course, these are just anomalies. These won't really give us a good indication of that, but yeah, there you go. You have a 959 millibar. Now again, this is 10 days out. This is 10 days out. You got to remember that this is all fantasy land as of right now. We'll watch things between now and 10 days out. Not just this wave here, not just this potential, whatever it could be, but something to watch as of right now. Pretty much all for tropical season is when you just need to watch. It's just when you need to watch. If there's a storm coming, then you prepare, then you take action. But it's quite quiet for early to mid-September. Right now, today is the average peak of the season. we only have one storm. We have a couple of waves, but we only have one storm in the Atlantic basin right now. Just one. Typically at this time of year, we'd have two, maybe three active right now, but we only have one. And again, this can change in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we could see our peak of this year. Again, that's why it's called an average. But it's something to see, something to watch, so that you are ready. And if a storm should come in, that's the time you prepare, and that's the time you take action. But right now is just a time to keep it on your mind, to watch. Right now we don't suspect any major impacts from these storms. We don't expect any major issues with these. If we take a look at the Gulf of Mexico one and just kind of just watch this thing here, just kind of see this thing and how it evolves here. I mean, where in the world is it? It's just, I mean, there it is, right there. But yeah, it's just a wave at this point. 1008. One, of course, we don't really have. We can look at models. That's probably the best we can do. But we don't have invest on these. So we can't take a look at the H-Wolf. We can't take a look at the hurricane. I'm not gonna bother looking at the mesoscale. Really, these are the cams, but you don't use cams for tropics. You really don't. There's a wave right there that just goes into Mexico. That's it. It just dies. If we take a look at the GFS here off here, and we look at the basin here, just to look at this and sort of get an idea of what we could see. There's a wave right there that has a high chance, and it just sits there. And I mean, it just sits and fizzles out. And then here predicts another wave that comes out, probably does the same exact thing, or then this one curves up and just does nothing. So just really, there goes Larry right there. There's Larry. Again, here's that other wave. We may have a small wave that sneaks into the Carolinas, but I mean, good grief, we'll probably have more severe activity than. We'll probably have more severe activity than tropical activity for the next week or so. And I mean, it's just, hey, I'm not complaining. I mean, I've been through hurricanes before. I'm not complaining about a quiet tropical season. I hate tracking tropical stuff. I love tracking severe weather and such, but look at that nasty freaking ridge on there. But you know what? We'll take a look at here at north. No. Yeah, sure, why not? Take a look at the multi-parameter, 5 mil. Oh, shoot. They would take a look at this one. Or actually, hold on. Look at the height anomaly. There we go. We can watch our next trough come in. Here. And there's our next trough. Alright, look at that one right there. Deepening across parts of Canada. But something to watch. Right there, that digs a little deeper south. Wow, look at that. A negative 303 anomaly on that. Wow. Good grief. That is a very deep one. Something I like to, although we don't have any severe parameters on this, so you know what, we'll just take a look at pivotal models, GFS, blah blah blah. Take a look at this forecast loop. And what hour was this? This was 2:58 off the 12Z run. Good to know. Oh, I'm always curious, especially with troughs like that, what happens with those hour, what was it again? I forgot. 2:58. You gotta remember that this is all fantasy land right now. As far as 2:58, yeah, there's 2:58. Let's just pick a random sounding. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Photograph looks really messy. Skew T ain't looking bad. Skew T chart on the left side doesn't look too bad. The LCL heights are not bad. Skew T is looking pretty nice, but yeah. Again, this is all voodoo. We don't. What's going on there? We suspect things to be quiet. We'll take a look at the SPC outlooks here just to see here. Next couple of days. However, if you follow us on Twitter, which you should, again, here's our Twitter page. We are watching this, however. We are watching Saturday right now. Looking at it, if we go here to models again, take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer, and we'll also take a look at the wrap as well. And we'll just kind of see how things are. Alright, surface-based cape values, very high capes up to 5,000, about 5,500 joules. I can't speak. Take a random sounding. Here's, well, actually, that's not looking terrible. But it's not amazing. Photograph looks quite garbage, but just pull another sounding here from a little higher cape, and yeah, wow, why is the NAM just showing less and less I mean, yeah, we have a little bit of a warm spike there, but hey, that's a lot better than what it was on the 12Z. If we take a look at the 12Z at the same time, same position, look at that. It's fully inhibited. I mean, no amount of forcing, no amount of really heat is going to help that. I mean, that's just the way it is. We would need temperatures around like 100 degrees in order to get that thing there, and we don't suspect that. But goodness me, yeah. If you take a look at the 06Z run, again, still that same whole thing. We take a look at the wrap. Sounding, of course, we're dealing with this crap right here. We got to go all the way back to the freaking hour that it was. But yeah, right here. Like, huge convective inhibition. Huge cap. I mean, look at that. Negative 290 SIN-H. Wow. Take a look at the, what was it, 09Z. The 09Z does not even exist. Huh. Why are we going all the way back to May 16th? What is this? Okay. Well, good to know. Yeah, 15Z is all we got here. Next full run is going to be 21Z, but yeah, there we go. Just some major convective inhibition. In fact, I'll pull up Next Lab here so you can see a little bit greater detail of what we're talking about. In fact, I'll take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer here, and this is the surface-based cape coupled with the convective inhibition. I hate freaking Next Lab sometimes. This is a 15Z. And goodness me, all of that convective inhibition, that's not going to allow storms to get up there. It's not at all. The cap is like negative 200. It's just tippity top the scale right there. But one thing that's surprising me is how much the NAM has changed. Oopsies. The NAM has changed since then. There's a little bit more opening. That's something that's concerning me a little bit about this, is we have a very small window. That window was not there. If we take a look at the, in fact, I'll take a, actually, take a look at the experimental models. This will actually show us a little bit better of an idea here. Unfortunately, we don't have a floater in this area, but whatever. This is actually slightly better. But this is the 18Z run. Take a look at this here. Way more open on there. And that is And there we are. So 6,000 cape, nearly 6,000 joules per kilogram in there. Take a look at the 12Z run. Yeah, it is capped. It's not as... It really is actually not as capped, but take a look at the 0Z run. Still, way more closed off. And think the cap as a lid on a boiling pot of water. And that's what you get right there. We'll take a sounding. We'll just grab one of those and just take a look at that. It takes a minute to load, but yeah, the nav 3 kilometer is sort of giving a little bit more opportunity in this. And look at that mean hodo. Wow. Good grief. The sounding, the sounding cape, 7,439 joules. Woo-wee. Dang. But yeah, if we take a look at here where my cursor is on the SQT chart, this red line right here is going to be your temperature. That's going to be your temperature, and think of this as a vertical profile of the atmosphere. This is a 2D plot of the atmosphere. And this is basically going higher up. So you got 1,000 millibars at the surface. This is your surface going up. And if you want to kind of have a little bit better of an idea, just put this image and put it at the horizon. Just go outside, just put it at the horizon, and just envision the atmosphere looking like that. So if this whole area between this blue dotted line and the red line is going to be all your CAPE, your convective available potential energy, and when you have this red line, like we saw in the RAP, the rapid refresh model. In fact, we'll take a look at we'll just take a look at this for an example right here. Take a look at the 15Z. And by the way, I don't suggest taking a look at the wrap on Pivotal Weather. It kind of sucks. I mean, it really does suck. I don't recommend using it on Pivotal. You're much better off using it on NextLab. And I'm not just saying it because of this. It's way better on NextLab to use the wrap. But yeah, well, I'll just show an example here. And I wish we'd set the freaking right model right at first start. But let's kind of get a cherry pick sounding just to show what we're talking about in terms of that the capping inversion, the convective inhibition. We'll call it cap. We'll call it a lid, if you would say. And there it is. Now, this is an extreme scenario. This is a very extreme look at this. But you see this red line here, and it doesn't always look like this. This is very, very extreme. But there you go. So you have high CAPE values. You have 4,000 CAPE, almost 4,000 CAPE at the surface, and the most unstable CAPE are all the same. The mid levels are sitting about 2,400 CAPE. I was about to say 24. If we had mid levels at 24,000 CAPE, I think that we would all be standing on Jupiter right now. But no, we don't have that. But you can see this whole red line right there. Your temperature there that is going over that parcel temp, and that's basically not allowing. It's basically not allowing a lot of energy to go up there. So you don't have that lift. You don't have that buoyancy. It's just not there. The air particles cannot go through that. So basically, there's just a blanket, a lid on those air particles that doesn't allow them to go up and initiate thunderstorms. So the air parcels are all stuck at the surface. But here, this is a little more favorable, a little bit more favorable. You still have a little bit of a warm spike. That may go away. And again, we'll watch trends. One thing as well, I'm noticing that the surface to 1 kilometer shear is not great. It could be better. So we don't have amazing surface to 1 kilometer shear. It's not that great. So as far as tornadic thunderstorms are concerned, as far as this looks right now, it's not going to be very favorable for that. It's just not. We could get some halos. We could get, the lapse rates are looking pretty good. We could get some halos, some windy type storms, but as far as tornadic supercells, as far as it looks right now, that's just not going to be easy to do. If at all. But we're 24 hours out. A lot can change in 24 hours, of course. Usually by this time we get really good indications from modeling on this here. But we just don't have that. So yeah, it's interesting. Again, we'll keep watching it. We'll keep you guys posted, updated on this. But with that said, that's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new. And yeah, we'll more videos to come on this, and not only tropics but severe weather. So here we go. But with that said, that's a wrap. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.